the Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Claudio Coda, the Deputy Head of Mission, Mr. Brandon Hopkins, the Chief of Staff, and our invited guests. I would like to apologize that we will change our program a bit. We will now continue with our entertainment because I know you'll be looking forward to our entertainment and what we have for you tonight. Our personnels are still trying to put together a feast for everyone. So while helping them, assisting them to give them a bit of time, I will now invite Captain Lasike, our Senior Medical Officer, to introduce or to begin the second part of our program tonight, which is the entertainment. Thank you very much. Captain Lasike.
Lotu.
Ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, fellow colleagues of the Unami Corps, the Fiji Guardian Unit welcomes you and wants to take you back in time through the history of our beloved nation. The entertainment program that you're about to witness involves a narration of our history, our culture, customs, and our heritage. We will take you through the ages from the times of our early settlers, dark ages of cannibalism, early explorers, westernization, and introduction of Christianity. We will highlight a significant event when Fiji proceeded to Great Britain to the introduction of the indentured labor system until Fiji gained its independence. Without taking much further of your time, sit back, relax, and let us give a round of applause to the Fiji Guard Unit to officially welcome you with the Fiji Bula Spirit of this 53rd year celebration of independence for our organization. Meke is the Fijian expression for a traditional dance, usually performed by a group of dancers arranged in one or more rows, with music provided by singers and instrumentalists seated behind them. The first Meke that you're about to witness is the Meke Yuri, or the fan dance, that is an ancient traditional form of dance. This dance form is still performed today, with fans made from pandanus leaves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've officially been welcomed, let us now take you through time and witness firsthand the history of our beloved nation through a time capsule. Around 300,000 years ago before the birth of Christ, a canoe load of adventurers, Lapita sailors, set out to sail. They came into the Pacific from Southeast Asia via the Malaya Peninsula and made a landfall in the Fijian archipelago. Here, the Melanesians and the Polynesians mixed to create a highly developed society long before the arrival of the Europeans. Dr. Roger Green, a professor of anthropology at Auckland University in New Zealand, his theory is that these were the first settlers, not only because at that time they would have the necessary maritime technology, but also because their pottery is found throughout the whole of Fiji. Also reasonable to assume that there may have been only one single successful voyage in each instance. Certainly, Fijian legends speak of one canoe and one voyage. According to Fijian legend, the great chief Lutuno Soma led his people across the seas to the new land of Fiji in the canoe, the Kaunitoni. The legend says that the first canoe to touch land on the main island of Vitilevu were found indigenous people, and the legend also says that the people of the canoe made their way inland from where they eventually spilled to other parts of Fiji. But during the dark ages of the settlers, Fijians were no longer the home for male cannibals. Cannibalism in the form of butchery marks on the bones. The most famous cannibal that ever lived was the chief Uru, who killed around 877 to 999 people during the Dark Ages. Why do people practice cannibalism in Fiji, you may ask? The ancient reasons for cannibalism in Fiji were little sketchy, but it is clear that the practice for a number of spiritual and tribal reasons. It is believed that Fijian chiefs ate the flesh of their enemies as a vow of control, revenge, any ultimate insult. Because often thought that if you consumed your enemy, you would have inherited their knowledge. It was a brutal practice to which victims were tortured and even dismembered while they were still alive. However, the process was steeped in ritual, from the abuse of the body to the taking of the bones, and the use of the special forks to eat the flesh. Another form of meke is the meke wau, a warlike meke for men, said to have originated from preparation for warfare, lively and gymnastic. Performance address the traditional warriors, and each carries a particular type of club with a curved hand. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the Fiji Guard Union. As we continue with our timeline, moving on to scene 2, we take you to the times of our European settlers and our Christian missionaries. The European discoveries of the Fiji Islands were accidental. The first of these discoveries was made in 1643 by the Dutch explorer Mr. Abel Tasman and English navigators, some of which included Captain James Cook, who sailed through in 1774 and made further explorations of the Fiji Islands in the 18th century. But out of all these discoveries, the major credit for the discovery and the recording of the islands went to Captain William Bligh, who sailed through Fiji after the mutiny on his boat, namely the Bounty, in 1789. The first Europeans to land and live among the Fijians were shipwrecked sailors, merchants for beach timber, sandalwood, and other commodities. Other slowly introduction of the early European settlers introduced westernization to the local natives when they acquired guns and other commodities through the barter system. The London Missionary Society was the backbone of the dawn of Christianity in the Pacific. Efforts to establish Christianity in Fiji began in 1825 when a man Takai of Oniata Island in the Lau Group went to Tahiti to persuade the London Missionary Society to send a missionary to Fiji. Tahitian teachers of the Christian religion or catechists were sent to Bau, but stayed in Tonga on hearing that the chief Tamau Visawanga of Bau were notorious for his ferocity, was Lakemba, and a second initiative was foiled in 1830. As Fiji's reputation for shipwreck and savagery continued, 3 Tahitian catechists were sent to Lakemba, but settled instead with Takai on Oniata Island after hostile reception at Lakemba Island. In 1832, the London Missionary Society agreed to concentrate on Samoa, while the Methodist missionists already established in Tonga concentrated on gaining a foothold in Fiji. In 1835, veteran Methodist missionary William Cross and Reverend David Kaki, together with their wives and a team of Tongan teachers, led by a Fijian Joshua Materini, landed at Lakemba, Lau. The missionaries was met with a little initial success at the mission in Tubo, Lakemba. The Tuneau, or the paramount chief of Lau, and other chiefs would not entertain conversion to Christianity until the chiefs of Bau, Rewa, and the Kaumrobe accepted it. The missionaries' efforts were reinforced after 1838, when the mission concentrated on spreading its influence by placing English missionaries in key sectors such as Bau, Rewa, and the Kaumrobe, and dispersing Tongan and Fijian teachers as widely as possible. For the Catholic team, the first Catholic missionaries to arrive in Fiji were Bishop Pompede and Father Relay and Bere, and 2 other St. Fortuna catechists, namely Papo and Apollonia. They landed at Namuka in Lau Group on the 12th of August 1844, a mission that was later established in Totonga, Lepuka, the old capital of Fiji. And in 1852, when Father Matthias and Michael began the foundation of a station at Nailini in Rewa. By 1844, the conversion of Naca SERU Takumbau, son of a ferocious chief, Tamo Bisawanga of Bau, had major influence in the large-scale acceptance and conversion to Christianity in Fiji. Cannibalism practiced in Fiji at that time quickly disappeared as missionaries gained influence. The rest of the country soon followed and tribal warfare came to an end. Many notable chiefs of Fiji became Christians following these conversions. Many people openly confirmed their faith in the gospel as the church grew. Fijians also went out with missionaries to the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, and North Australia. Moving on to scene 3, ladies and gentlemen, we now like to introduce you to one of the key players of the deed of session, Ratu Seru Apelisa Takumbau. Ratu Seru Apelisa Takumbau was born on the year 1815 and passed away in 1883. He was the high chief of Bau. He was styled the Hunibau, or warlord of Bau. who united parts of Fiji warring tribes under his leadership, establishing a united Fijian kingdom. He was born and spent his youth in the Lomaiviti group of islands, later returning to Bau to re-establish his father's reign of Ratu Tanua Bisawaka. He was one of the most powerful and influential, was that of Bau, whose area of domination was the western islands of the Coral Sea. As his influence grew over the period leading up to the cession of Fiji to Great Britain, he also styled himself Tuiviti, king of all Fiji. One of his most effective rivals was the common prince and representative of King George I and Afu. Why was Fiji ceded to Great Britain? In 1853, Naca burned down the town of Levuka, old capital of Fiji. The U.S. consul there, John Brown Williams, called on his government for aid. As the U.S. fleet blockaded Fiji, in 1854, Naca was forced the Americans to order to pay the compensation of $45,000 for the damage to U.S. property. Unable to pay this amount, in 1858, Naca offered to sell his kingdom to Britain and put Fiji's control under the British if they pay off his debt. The British government formally turned down the suggestion initially, but later agreed with his request when he had formed a constitutional monarchy. To be recognized as a legitimate government in the Western ways, he was named King of Fiji on 5th of June 1871 and formally installed as Tuiviti, or King of Fiji, in 1873. Ladies and gentlemen, as the curtains close, we're about to get ready the main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to witness is the ceremony of the deed of cession. It is the exact reenactment of what took place in Levuka, Fiji on the 10th of October 1874 when Fiji was ceded to Great Britain. The deed of cession reflects the spirit in which the country was handed over to the Crown and the obligations of the Crown towards the first people of this land. The ceremony of the cession took place in Levuka, the old capital of city, on 10th October 1874. The ceremony of the cession, October 10, 1874, dawned with a heavy rain which continued throughout the morning, but at 1 p.m. the sky cleared a beautiful blue. The ceremony proper moved to 2 p.m. Some 200 sailors and marines landed from the warships. The Fijian Armed Constabulary were also present. His Excellency Sir Hercules Robinson and Commodore Goodenough left the berth, while the sailors manned the yards and the ships fired and sailed in Naca SERU. The king and the other high chiefs received His Excellency and his party. They then sat for the official ceremony. The rest of the company, British and Fijian, remained standing throughout the proceedings. The deed of cession was the official document that allowed the handover of Fiji to Great Britain. It was signed on the 10th of October 1874 by 13 Fijian chiefs and Sir Hercules Robinson, who acted on behalf of the British Crown. The deed of cession was then read in Fijian for the benefit of those chiefs who had not heard it previously. Before signing, the king asked that Mr. Thurston might read a paper which I had given him that morning. His Excellency Mr. Thurston read,
Excellency, before finding ceding his country to Her Majesty the Queen of Great Britain and Ireland, the King desires, through your Excellency, to give Her Majesty the only thing he possesses that may interest her. The King gives Her Majesty's old and favorite war club, the former and until lately the only known law of Fiji. Australia, nomor 2, komando. Ibu, kalau nanti kita bisa lalu kubit. Satu belum dalam. Oke lah. Bisa Australia, nomor 2. Kena ya. Kena. Memang dulu di nomor 2. Memang dulu di nomor 2. Australia lalu gue yang tali, dia makan rentai, dia makan dulu, dia selalu kopi.
As the king of Fiji was deeply moved, he then gave his favorite war club to the Tubikota Nirandini power. It was presented to Mr. Festo, later presented it to Sir Hercules Robinson.
I received this gift. In the spirit was given to me on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen.
His Excellency Sir Hercules Robinson later sent the club to England for presentation to Queen Victoria, who received it gladly and treasured it, placing it for safekeeping in Windsor Castle. In 1932, the club was returned to Fiji by His Majesty King George IV to become the maze of the Legislative Council of the colony. It was also the maze of the House of Representatives of the Parliament of the Independent Nation of Fiji till this date. The Tuiviti of the King of Fiji, Ratu Seru Takuma, had signed the deed of cession, initially along with the other 13 chiefs, representation of the other parts of Fiji, in agreement ceding Fiji to Great Britain. According to the documents written in the Fiji National Archives, out of the 13 chiefs, only one was able to sign, and the others used their thumb in agreement for ceding of Fiji to Great Britain. On the table lay the deed of cession, and an exact copy, one of which was to be retained in Fiji, and the other sent to England. His Excellency Sir Hercules Robinson, and signed both copies after the remaining chiefs had signed. session is then presented to the King of FIJI, Naca SERU by Sir Hercules Robinson.
On behalf of all this tribute, I now have the honor to declare that FIJI has been a sincere, grateful, and will become of the People's Republic.
The other copy of the deed of cession is sent by Sir Hercules Robinson to England for presentation to Queen Victoria. The Fijian flag was then slowly lowered amid respectful silence, and the royal standard of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland was hoisted in its place for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause to the characters today. What we have just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, was the ceding of Fiji to Great Britain. Now let us take you along to the introduction of the indentured labor system in Fiji. Indentured labor, also called indentured servitude, is a form of labor in which a person or indenture agrees to work for someone without any salary. This is done for a specific amount of time by signing a contract for eventual compensation or repayment of a debt. Following the abolition of slavery across the British Empire, Indian indentured laborers provided a cheap source of labor to the government. Many Indians traveled from India to the 19 British colonies such as the Caribbean, South Africa, Mauritius and Fiji to work on the sugarcane plantation between 1838 and 1917. For Fiji, a British colony, 60,965 Indian indentured laborers were recruited to work in the country's sugarcane plantation. As the workers were generally illiterate, the system came to be known as gilman, derived from the word agreement, and later the laborers came to be called gilmatiers. Of the 60,965 recruits registered for transportation to Fiji in 1882, hundreds died at sea in the nocturnal hours. Their bodies were disposed of without rites or ritual. It took them 3 months by sail ship and 1 month by steamship to reach Fiji. Despite the hardship during this period, a type of bonding occurred among the recruits who called each other jahipai or shipmates. On reaching Fiji, the recruits were kept in quarantine on Nuku'alofa Island before being allocated to the plantations. On the day of allocation, the recruits were formed into groups for plantation owners to transport them by boat to their destination. The largest number of gilmatiers were allocated to the Colonial Sugar Refining Committee that operated sugar mills and had its own sugarcane plantation. On a typical day, workers were woken up at 3 a.m. by the paniwala, or water carrier, and the loud beating of empty drums. According to a report on Fiji prepared by Reverend John Andrews, an emissary of Mahatma Gandhi, the highest number of gilmatiers committed suicide between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., with the realization of another day of misery was the likely cause. From 1879 and 1960, these Indians came as indentured laborers to work on the sugarcane plantation. After the indentured system was abolished, many stayed as independent farmers and businessmen. Today, they comprise of 43.6% of Fiji's population. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to the Fiji Guard Unit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us take you to the last part of our entertainment, which is the Independence Day. Fiji was officially granted independence on 10th October 1970. After 96 years of British colonial rule, on the same day in 1874, the deed of cession was signed by King Naca SERU to commence British rule in Fiji. Both the cession of control and independence is celebrated among Fijians. Thus, October 10th is a significant day in the country's history that is commemorated every year with a week of festivities and celebration. Almost every town and city in the archipelago organizes its own events in honor of the occasion, which include military parades, speeches, performances, and street parties. The process of Fijian independence was a story of negotiation and compromise. A constitutional conference was held in London in July 1965 to discuss constitutional changes with a view to introduce responsible government. Indo-Fijians led by A.D. Patel demanded the immediate introduction of full self-government. These demands were vigorously rejected by the ethnic Fijians, or the natives, who still feared the loss of control of natively owned land and resources should an Indo-Fijian dominated government come to power. The British made it clear, however, that they were determined to bring Fiji to self-government and eventual independence. The following 5 years saw compromises from both Indo-Fijians and ethnic representatives, which involved the forming of a cabinet system of government in 1967. Ratu Kamisesemara was the chief minister. Now that Britain deemed Fiji capable of self-government, Prince Charles, who represented the Queen, handed over the instruments of independence to the Chief Minister Ratu Kamisesemara. Ratu Kamisesemara said, "The second unique event in our history was the attainment of our independence. Unique in the sense that there was no demand, no struggle, no bloodshed, but through dialogue and consensus, as demonstrated by the mood in which we celebrated our independence." Around the 1970s, the Fijians also celebrated with the influence of westernization. Which brings us to our next entertainment. The next entertainment is both a contemporary dance. It's using neatly sewn kalavata or bula design. If we look around the auditorium today, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the bula design and the kalavata being worn by the Fiji Guard Union. These are one of the most popular color designs that we have in the Pacific. So it is used with contemporary music without any instrumentalist, like the traditional performance or meke that you have seen in the other mekes that we have, and with the hit of Fijian R&B reggae music. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause to the female searchers for the Fiji Guard Union. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the female section of the Fiji Guide. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the female searchers of the Fiji Guard Union. Moving on to our last meke, or traditional performance, the next meke is called the Wakamalolo, or the sitting dance. The Wakamalolo is a lively dance in which the performer is sitting in a line, often using an earring meke or ornamental fan. It is performed by men or women, rarely if ever mixed. At the beginning, the dancers often have their backs turned towards the others, then gradually turn to face them. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome again the Fiji Guard Union. As the Union Jack was lowered for the last time in the presence of Queen Charles, and the military band beat the retreat and played the last pose, Ratu Sir Kamisesemana continued. Ladies and gentlemen, let us salute the Union Jack, the symbol that has governed this country for the 96 years is coming down for the very last time. We're going to be masters of our own destiny. We have come of age. Let us farewell and isamole to Her Majesty the Queen and the Union Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite us to remain standing for Fiji's national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can all be seated.